Welcome to another Rolled in Reacts episode. This Chevy Sonic had to come in because the owner had tried replacing the head gasket by himself. And this customer had DIY'd their very own gear shifter. If it works, it works. And this customer came in because they had some tire leaks and lots of vibration when driving. Customer states, car runs really rough, but I change my oil every year. And this Honda Civic came in after the owner had tried to install a lowering kit by themselves, but had apparently forgot to put the strut nuts back. And the owner of this car had built their very own catalytic converter anti-theft system. And this customer states, installed new calipers, but now brake pedal goes to the floor. Customer states, truck won't start, please advise. The technician found 2 destroyed rocker arms and that the timing chain had snapped off into 4 different pieces. This Suzuki came in for an oil change, and when the mechanic had it on the lift, he noticed that the customer had welded on some lifting points all by himself. Customer states, my car keeps going woo! And this customer came in because they hear a rattling sound after having had their car parked in a barn for a few weeks. This BMW X3 came in with a handful of problems, to say the least. Customer states, wipers sound like an old VHS player. And this car came in after the owner had just bought it at an auction. The mechanic found the CV axles to be completely bust and the drive shaft was mysteriously missing. Looks good! And this customer came in after having brushed against some curbsides. And apparently this wheel weight had gotten stuck on the brake caliper after the owner had done some brake work together with her father. And this customer had done his own oil change every single year, but had to come in because of a knocking sound. And this Ford F-150 came in after the owner had tried going off-road for the first time. The mechanic later said that the total cost ended up being $10,000. The owner of this car said they heard a loud bang and then lost all power. Customer states, heard a loud metallic clunk and then the wheel started to wobble. And this truck somehow drove in like this and apparently just needed an oil change, said the owner. This car rolled in because the owner complained about a loud whining noise from the back. And this truck must have been towing something pretty heavy. And this Nissan Pathfinder came in with a pretty beat up lower control arm. And this Porsche had to come in after the owner's wife had hit a curb going pretty fast. Just imagine going over speed bumps in this one. Sounds good. The owner of this Jeep Grand Cherokee came in because he couldn't get the oil level up no matter how much oil he filled it with. Turns out that the customer had mixed up the oil and cooling caps all along. This truck came in after the owner complained about a loud noise when accelerating. Turned out that the drive shaft center support bearing was bust. When your second oil change looks like this, you're probably in trouble. And this customer came in complaining about lots of steering wheel vibration. Uh-oh. And this customer had their friend install brake rotors and pads for them, but apparently got the wrong rotor size, and this is what the mechanic found. This car came in for a pre-purchase inspection after the current owner had said she's basically like new underneath. And the owner of this car came in saying that something feels a bit different about their clutch and that he wants it checked out. The owner of this Mercedes had it in for some work at another shop, and they had apparently removed the strut bar in a pretty creative way. If it works, I guess. This mechanic was doing a wiring job on this car, but when he went to remove the floor mats, he found this. Yummy. And this custom Jeep came in with some custom limiting straps on the rear axle. The owner said that they had done the job all by themselves, but had to come in because of a brake issue. And this Dodge probably needs a new thrust bearing. This mechanic finally found his millimeter socket. And this car had to come in because of a bad clunking noise. And this car had more than just one owner. Customer states, "I can't tell how much gas I got left." And this customer came in because of a bit of a misfire. Customer states, clunking noises when going over bumps. This Hyundai Tucson came in because of a strange noise coming from the engine. This customer came in saying, "Every time I go over a bump, there's a clunking noise." This car drove in for an oil change, and the mechanic didn't notice this until he was on the lift. The mechanic said that it's probably part of the insulation of the resonator. That doesn't seem right. And this car came in with starting issues after the owner's friend had done some electrical work on it. And this customer came in saying that they drove their truck downhill at top speed, but now can't tell how fast they're driving. And this customer had driven through a bit of water. Customer states, I know I have a V8, but I think it sounds louder than usual. This 2004 GMC Sierra rolled in because the owner said it had started to run rough and wanted it looked at. The mechanic found that the customer hadn't changed the oil in quite some time, but after an engine flush and some new oil, the car ran much better. And this Mercedes CLA 250 came in with a rim that had cracked in 6 places after the owner had hit a curb. Customer states, black smoke coming from the exhaust and engine runs rough, please advise. The mechanic found there to be oil in the intercooler due to a worn out turbo seal. This vehicle came in because the owner got tired of having to refill it with oil all the time and wanted all of the leaks fixed. Customer states, car has starting issues, please advise. And this van came in for an oil change, but when the mechanic went to drive the van into the shop, he found this. This mechanic had this car in for an inspection after the owner had done some work on it. While having the car on the lift, he noticed that the ball joints were holding on for dear life. I wonder what this customer actually drove through. And this Toyota Tacoma came in to get their washer fluid hoses and tank replaced, but had to come in a week later because a mouse had chewed up the hoses. This customer came in saying that their car wiggles a lot when driving on the highway. And the owner of this car came in saying that they had problems with their brakes and wanted it looked at. And this car had some issues with its power steering after the owner's friend had done some work on it. And this customer came in complaining about their window being too loud. And this car came in with quite the transmission noise after the customer had hit something on the road. This Honda Accord came in because the owner said it had a really bad grinding noise. The mechanic discovered that the rear brakes had pretty much no pads left and the rotors were completely worn out. And this is from a 2001 Toyota Tacoma. And this car had a pretty weird glitch where it started to leak fuel whenever the driver door was opened. This car came in looking like this after having been parked for a week on the street while the owner was on holiday. And the owner of this car came in because they complained about really poor acceleration. This Ram EcoDiesel rolled in because the owner had to add coolant to it all the time and the truck had overheated, but it didn't have any visible leaks. The mechanic said that he pressured and block tested it, test drove it, but it didn't have any leaks nor did it overheat. Once he removed the upper radiator hose, he discovered what was causing the issue. Let us know in the comments what you think this stuff actually is. La la la, la la la. Customer states, car runs rough, has poor acceleration and smells bad. And this customer had done a bit of work on their differential, but had to come in because they had an oil leak and a lot of whining noise. This customer came in because their ABS light was on after they had installed a new ABS speed sensor all by themselves. The owner of this car had accidentally topped her car up with washer fluid instead of engine oil. And this customer definitely didn't come in too soon to have their tie rods replaced. This car came in because the owner had quite the clunking noise. This customer came in complaining about lots of vibration in their steering wheel. This Saturn Outlook came in because the interior carpet was soaking wet. The mechanic found a broken drain tube to be the issue. And this car came in a tow truck because it just wouldn't start. The owner said that it's really weird because he's been trickle charging it all year round. And this mechanic had worked on this stock snap bolt for a solid 30 minutes when it finally started to turn. What it's supposed to look like. What it actually looks like. Customer states, cabin smells weird whenever the AC is on. Please advise. Yum. And this car had to come in after just having gotten a new windshield installed at another shop. Customer states, car has started to run a bit rough lately. Please advise. This customer came in complaining about really bad acceleration. This customer had changed their own brake lines, but had to come in because of a leak. This 2019 Chevy Silverado rolled in after the customer had hit something on the road. And this mechanic just wanted to add some oil to the engine. Customer states, really bad vibration when driving. And this customer came in saying that they had some starting issues after it had rained and temperatures had dropped below freezing the day after. The mechanic found the battery to be totally enclosed in a block of ice. This car came in because the owner says it screams at him every time he shifts gears. The mechanic found the pilot bearing to be almost non-existing. And this 1996 Ford F-150 apparently had more than just one owner. This customer came in for a clunking noise after their friend had helped them change a ball joint. The mechanic discovered that the ball joint was missing the snap ring and cotter pin. And this customer came in complaining about a rattling sound after having been at another shop. Customer states, something's wrong with my wheel, can you check it out? And this BMW rolled in with some starting issues and a battery warning light. Turns out that the generator had some issues and a pulley was mysteriously not in its place. This mechanic was doing a gasket job on this car when he noticed this. And this customer came in saying that he hears a loud whining sound every time he floors it. And this Infiniti QX60 came in with some starting issues after getting a new battery installed at a different shop. This car came in because it apparently did not want to stop leaking oil. And this car came in for an oil and filter change, but the filter wouldn't come off, so the mechanic had to be a little bit creative. Customer states, trying to check my oil, but I can't. And this customer say that they hear a clunking sound when going over bumps. This side-by-side came in because the owner had gone off-roading in the middle of the night, but didn't see exactly where it was going and had ended up in a swamp. This customer came in saying that their brakes have started to feel weird lately and asked the mechanics to have a look. And this customer came in with his brakes on fire after he accidentally topped off his brake system with power steering fluid. And this van came in because of broken inner tie rods. Apparently, it had been sitting like this for 2 nights in a row, which caused condensation so bad that it soaked the whole interior. And this mechanic was told that the machine had oil in it, but to check the side glass first. And this mechanic was starting to feel a bit hangry, but thankfully was very well prepared. This Chevy Tahoe came in because the 4-wheel drive had stopped working. And this customer hit a pothole doing 60 miles an hour. Nice! This car came in for a seasonal tire swap and the owner said the lug nuts are in the car, but didn't say where, so the mechanic had to go on a little treasure hunt. And this customer had done their own oil change, but accidentally overfilled their car by about 5 quarts. And this customer had been in the shop before, but keeps refusing to give his full name, but the mechanic still suspects that it must be Flintstone. Customer states, don't try to rip me off, I just need new pads, okay? And you can never have enough AdBlue in your diesel engine. Or can you? Customer states, I don't know what happened, but my car now leaks water. This car came in looking like this after the customer's friend had towed it behind them while still in second gear. And this customer came in complaining about their car taking forever to start and that it makes popping sounds when driving. The mechanic found the crankshaft sprocket to be the main culprit. And the driver door on this BMW apparently only opens when you press in a particular spot. This car came in with a hole in the oil pan, bent exhaust and drive shaft, and a cracked transmission case after the owner had hit something small on the highway. This Chrysler Pacifica came in because of a bad clunking noise during hard acceleration. Turned out to be a pretty broken engine mount. And this car came in with quite the list of brake issues. This car came in because the owner said they had a grinding noise and a really nasty smell coming from the engine. And unfortunately for this customer, they had to replace their whole engine after they drove through a flooded area in their neighborhood. Customer states, hit a hole in the road and now I hear a rattling sound. Please advise. And this is what car garage wind chimes look like. And this car had been outside in the rain for a bit too long.
Woo! There it was.
And this customer had their friend tone their windows for cheap, but forgot to check the state regulations before doing it. And this customer came in saying that they don't need new rear struts, they're still okay. Must be some kind of new adjustable strut model, right? And this mechanic found the socket of sockets while doing an oil change. And this truck came in with a pretty long list of issues after the owner had done some work on it together with their friend. And when you're working these really fancy cars, there are certain things that are a big no-no, like... And this differential has definitely seen some better days. And this car came in for a filter change. The owner of this car came in for some electrical work when the mechanic discovered it had a pretty interesting gear level knob. Since it's summer and all, it's good to bring some extra water with you so you can cool off anywhere you go. Automatic refill, yes please. And the owner of this Isuzu came in saying that they were driving off-road, then heard a clicky-clacky sound, and then the car stopped moving. This car came in because of a little bit of a clunking noise. And this customer had installed used wheel bearings by themselves to save some money, but ended up having to come into the shop to get new ones. And this customer had installed his own horn. And this customer came in after their friend had timed their engine for them. This 2007 Audi A4 came in with some starting issues after the owner had switched the spark plugs by himself. Apparently, he had used some gasket maker to try and fix a leaking valve cover. And hopefully you've got some good insurance if you ever encounter one of these in the wild. And this customer came in for a pre-purchase inspection of this car. Once the technician had it on the lift, he discovered that the entire underside was covered in white paint. Customer states, was driving on the highway and heard a really loud bang. The mechanic said that this carnage was caused by the double cardan joint on the front drive braking. Customer states, steering wheel feels kinda heavy. The owner of this cat dozer had some leaking parts fixed and oil topped up at another shop, but a few hours later the engine blew up. And this customer complained about their brakes being louder than normal. This mechanic had a bit of a tough time reaching one of the spark plugs, so he got a bit creative. And this is what you do when you want to make sure that you don't have any future oil leaks. And this car came in to get some new brakes installed, but the mechanics found that it needed a little bit more work than just brakes. And this customer came in saying that they hadn't had an oil change in a while and thinks it might be time. The mechanic also found there to be pretty much no oil left in the engine. Customer states, "My brakes are really squeaky. Please check and advise." Customer states, "I think there's something wrong with my tire. Can you check it out?" This almost new Audi Q3 rolled in because the owner had hit something on their way to work. Customer came in saying that their engine feels different after having done some off-roading. Thankfully, they came in right on time to have this looked at. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching, and until next time.